Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to another edition of Breaking the Base. This is episode 72, and we are going to be talking about the Chronicles of Riddick, Riddick series, a sci-fi fiction, not sci-fi, a science fiction series that circles around this very unique character named Richard B. Riddick, played by Vin Diesel, and he just goes on all of these interesting and just crazy quests as he just tries to basically survive because he's a criminal and a well-known criminal at that. So he not only has to deal with alien creatures, but he has to deal with mercenaries and all types of stuff.
I am Groot.
Anyways, Kid, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and give your initial thoughts about the series.
I heard Madam B going, "What the heck? He crazy."
But what you?
Let's see. Let's go back to the Wayback Machine. 2000, Pitch Black comes out, and it's got, of course, we talked Van Diesel, but it's a very different movie. You want me to wave hi? How's it going? I can't see the whole picture. Come on now, y'all crazy.
Don't crazy stuff.
But yeah, this is our low budget tonight.
You're just having fun with it.
You gotta have fun. You gotta enjoy it. But Pitch Black was like a very different movie. It was supposed to be like, and really, it's more of a science horror movie because you had I don't even know if they ever even gave them things a name.
Bioraptor.
Some evil little creatures, but it's a planet that basically every so often the life that's on the planet can come out because the entire planet is encompassed in darkness. The native creatures there are not too friendly with people because they like to eat you.
Yeah.
But you have a whole group you have all these passengers crash on the planet. They're transporting a prisoner, Riddick. They have to kind of put their trust into everybody. You get a little bit of, you get all the different characters that are going on. And actually a couple of characters, two of the characters come back. We see in the later films back much, much later on down the road. It's pretty wild because you see Riddick has been genetically modified. I mean, he's already pretty much a badass.
Yeah.
But, he's got a lot of skill, a lot of talent, a lot of patience. But his eyes have been modified to allow him to see in the dark.
Yep.
So, it gives him an advantage over the evening, when everything starts going crazy, when everything starts getting dark. But it plays into all these different people, and it's a very interesting story as people start dropping like flies, how people react, how things go on. We have a story, about a bounty hunter named Johns. He's basically trying to get Riddick, get the bounty off of him. And just a lot of things go very, very, very crazy. And it is very sci horror. It is pretty wild. We get the science fiction, but we get that creep factor in there. And,
I do like the series because it feels diverse. The first one was like like you said, sci-fi horror movie, but then the second one turns into this like sci-fi kind of adventure.
Yeah, it's the same character, same story, but now we go from the Pitch Black where you first get introduced to the character of Riddick. He does have an honor code system. He's not a complete jerkhole. Although obviously there's a lot of history prior to that. Then we come into the Chronicles of Riddick, which becomes definitely a more science fiction story. Riddick has also been, on the run for, I think they said about 5 years, trying to catch him. And it's great. I love the beginning of the Riddick. It was, of the Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah.
Because just the action in the very beginning of it is wild. And then you get the necromongers.
Yeah.
This I don't say parasitic race. That's not the correct term I want to use here. What would you call them?
I said they're a cult. That's what I call them, a cult. pretty much.
Yeah, I guess you could say really just kind of like a giant army of cult army, who is just basically dropping on a planet, say worship me or die, basically.
Yeah, they mean that.
And there's no in between. It's do or die. and they've been moving throughout the universe, taking over and going. You kill what you keep. Or you keep what you kill. That's what it was. You keep what you kill.
Yeah, you kill what you keep. All right.
Yeah, that works out very well.
I thought like their planet, the way they did the like basically harvesting, I guess you could say, they go to the planet, take as many people that they feel like they want to take, and then they just destroy the planet afterwards.
Yeah, just wipe it out, just gone. And we get a lot of different stories. We see one of the characters from the very first of the movie, the tall black guy. I can't remember what he was. He was like a priest or something like that. He's on the planet. This is his planet that's being attacked now. Riddick shows up. They find out he is what was called a Furian. And that was the one thing the Lord Marshal, the leader of the Necromongers, is afraid of, because it's been predicted that he will die by the hand of a Furian. So as far as he knew, he's wiped out the entire Furian race. And here, lo and behold, here comes Riddick showing up.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, great. So he gets shipped off to a prison planet where we run into our second character.
Oh, Imam. That was the black guy's name, played by Keith David. It was Imam.
Yeah. And then we run into the girl.
Kira.
Well, they called her Jack, but I was trying to think of her actual name.
Alexa Davalos.
Yeah. And she was basically the girl from the first movie who survived, and she's been on this prison planet for wherever else she's been doing for a while. So, you run into a second character here in the movie as well. Now, the thing was cool on that planet was that the planet is so harsh that the surface of it is literally just molten, cooled lava, I guess. Because when the sun hits it, it just melts everything and turns it to like a plasma state. So there's, everything on this planet is all underground.
But
and they have to get
even at nighttime. At nighttime, it freezes over.
Yeah. So you have like a brief few seconds if you try to escape to go, and it's like crazy. But the scene is so cool. As they go through that, it's pretty wild. Let's see what else we had there. We go to we find out he was not the only Furian that was left after the Scourge. So, but the Lord Marshal is also kind of a weird character because they really never.
They don't go into his character that much.
Yeah, they don't quite explain him. He's got these abilities. They keep saying he went to the Outer Bounds or
Underverse or something like that.
Yeah, the Underverse. And he's got, some pretty crazy skills, but Riddick can also access those same skills. So I wish they would have really gone back and kind of dug into the Lord Marshal a little bit more. I want to understand
his reason for the things that he's doing.
Yeah, what is he? What's his driving, force? What is his, what is the thing going on there? And they really never explain it a lot because they kind of rush, because you get Riddick and the bounty hunters, you get Riddick, he gets away, they catch him again, take him to the prison planet. So you got the prison planet storyline going on, and you got the planet that was being attacked going on.
Yeah.
So you got, a couple different things, and even within the Necromongers, you have, their motto is basically, keep what you kill. So, they're always trying to plan to get rid of somebody else because, you kill that guy, you get all his stuff. You kill the other guy, you get all his stuff. And so there's a power struggle going on in there too because no one's been able to beat the Lord Marshal. So they're actually kind of hoping that Riddick can get rid of him so they can kill Riddick.
Which I did
and take what he gets.
I did like that because it showed that they weren't all unified. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they weren't a complete solid mentality of a cult. I mean, the upper leadership had still their, I guess, mental faculties still intact. But for the rest of the, I mean, granted, the ground troops and all that stuff were just all brain dead anyway, stuck on stupid and going crazy. But I think it was very interesting that they did it. But I really, really, really wish they would have explained the Lord Marshal a lot more, or something in along those lines.
Yeah, that was probably one of my downfalls when it came to him, was that they didn't explain that. Where did he come from? How did he know about the Underverse? Why was he going across the galaxy doing what he was doing? Why? What led him to to this prophecy? That he was just basically, he was a cool douchebag. Yeah, I give him that.
Yeah, he had his moments and some of the graphics and stuff, but it's just, what's the deal?
Yeah.
Why? What was his driving motivation? Besides absorbing everything or whatever he was doing, because I mean, he's still, and even when he left the planets, he just wiped them out.
Mm-hmm.
They just shot that blue crap and it just vaporized the whole planet. And then he also had the lady, that air elemental, the white lady, and that they had to chain or whatever it was, because she didn't want her floating away. She was some kind of thing as well.
I would like to see
in the storyline.
I would like to see a little bit more of her too. What was going on? What was up with her race?
Yeah, because she was like either an observer or something, and because the necromancer or necromongers knew who she was, and they had even special guards to keep her from trying to get away. Just again, still a cool movie. It's really neat. Got a lot of great things. I just wish they would have explained the story a little bit more to kind of understand it a little bit better. Oh, hey, they actually, you know what? I might be able to do that. I just ran across the Riddick Wiki. The Underversed.
I want to see if they actually go into it. But I'm gonna while you look that up, I'm gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about what I did like about the series. Of course, the Riddick character, awesome. Vin Diesel plays a great, memorable character. He was really cool. And of course, the first movie was made to be a standalone movie, but the fans loved the character of Riddick so much, they extended it to a series, to another movie. And even though the Chronicles of Riddick didn't get the justice that it deserved, because it was a good movie, they decided, they decided to make a different sequel. So it's Pitch Black, the Chronicles of Riddick, and the movie Riddick. Yep. Riddick, I didn't like as much as I liked Part 2, but then I had to go through it again and kind of give the movie a second chance. And I was like, okay, it's a good movie. It's not. I don't say it's like better than the. I don't think it's better than the second movie. I probably say it's probably better than the first one. So if I had a rank, it'd be the second, third, and then the first one.
I think,
but that's because
the one brought a little more light into the Riddick character, because he ended up getting stranded there. He's been there. He got betrayed. He lost everything, and he basically just had to. He gave up his ideals. Because you saw him at the beginning of the movie, he's got the armor on, he's got women, he's got money, he's got power, and he just lost himself. And when they betrayed him to take him to supposedly Furion, and just basically tried to kill him, he rediscovered himself. I think that's what kind of made the episode a little bit different to me.
Oh, I didn't. I like that character development with his character.
And you got to see it, and it was kind of cool as he messed with those guys too. I mean, he was dropping those dudes left and right, and all he wanted to do was just leave. He knew something bad was coming.
Yeah.
So,
this is my issue with the movie. It felt like they put the first movie and the second movie together, and that's what the third movie felt like, because it did have the survival horror elements of the first movie. Mm-hmm. And it turned around and had some of the action moments from the second movie. And I was like, no, it was like three storylines going on. It was the whole monster thing. I forgot what they were called, the mud crawlers or something like that.
Yeah.
There was the mercenary thing.
Yes.
And then I want to say there was the necromonger thing. And I felt like it should have been either the necromonger thing and the mercenary thing, or the mercenary, I felt like it should have been just 2 storylines going on instead of 3, because they put the necromonger thing in there, but it was like, what was the use? I understand they did a dick move to the guy, but what if, like, let me throw it out there. What if they go to this planet, right? Vaco, the guy that tried to
he took over.
That guy and Riddick get stuck on this planet together. Like, I would have liked that storyline.
Yeah,
and
that would have been cool.
They would have to try to survive it together, even though they don't like each other. Like, I think that's what they should have did with the movie. And even kind of with the mercenaries, I did like what was the woman name? I can't remember her name.
Kira Thrice.
No, the one. Let me see, Riddick.
Baby.
I'm trying to think of her name. Oh, Katie Sackhoff. Yeah. I liked her character. I like Batista's character. I like the Santana character. I like those characters, but I wish they would have been a little bit more fleshed out. It just felt like, okay, they should have just stuck with one storyline instead of combining like 2 or 3 of them. Like, I wouldn't mind it if he was stuck on the planet and he has to fight these mercenaries while dealing with different monsters. Like, that would have been cool. So it's like 3 battles going on. Or he's stuck on his planet and he has to deal with these monsters by himself. I don't know how to explain it. It felt like, I don't know. It's like they was trying to go back to survival horror, but they was trying to keep the action. And like I said, I liked Vaco. I wish they would have did more with his character. I liked Katie Sackhoff. I liked her character because she was tough, but she wasn't like overbearingly tough.
Yeah, they had it could have been just the mercenaries or just the critters. I think they were just going to, he got all up into the necromonger world and lost who he was. I think that was the majority of that movie, was really the character rediscovering what made him him. Because I like his, how did I get here?
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. I'm sorry.
It recapped everything prior to what you just saw, and that's when you found out Vaco pretty much set him up and all that other good stuff that was going on. So
I messed up in the explanation. It wasn't just, it was 2 sets of mercenaries.
Correct.
That's what it was. Because I went back and looked at Carrie Hilson. I was like, she got shot, which I would have liked her character actually to live or something.
Well, Johns was in the first movie. At least that was his son. Yeah. And, the reason Riddick did it because he figured one of them would show up because he knew his dad was a bounty hunter. So when the first team got there, they were just looking for the bounty. The second team showed up because it was only because Johns wanted Riddick and he wanted the answers of why his son is dead.
Yeah.
That was his driving factor to be there. He didn't want to be there just because. He was there for a purpose.
Yeah.
And so you get the interaction between the 2 teams, the 2 bounty hunter teams, and Riddick just trying to get off the damn planet, and he has the skills. And it was pretty cool, though. I mean, his whole terrorizing those guys was awesome.
I liked that, but again, it felt like I wanted him to be like on his, like, because in every movie you watch, he's got everything under control. I would have liked to seen them go after him. Like, even though he's stayed there a little bit longer and he knows how to deal with some of the situations, like, I want them dudes to bring the firepower. Like, I wanted to see him fight for his life. And you saw, like you said, he was just started taking people out left and right.
Yeah.
Like, I would have, you know what I'm saying?
Just drop them.
I want to see him challenged. That's what I want to say. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, get somebody to his equal.
I mean, if they were that brutal toward his character, I wanted to see them go at him. Now, I did say it was a dick move when they shot that dog. That was a nice dog.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That
made him even more, angry. It built the character more. It defined him more, and killed his dog. Now he's personal. So,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking. I just would have liked to see him be challenged. Like, these mercenaries got firepower and they're going for this guy, and he has to survive. You know what I'm saying? Like like trying to think of like a movie or something. I don't know. I can't think of them. Let me try to think of a movie. I'll let you go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, I thought it was just interesting. To me, we still had the Riddick, because I mean, granted, we've had 3 movies. Riddick, we got introduced to him. We know that he's a bad guy. He's got some skill, but you don't quite see all of it. You don't see all that skill. And then we come into the second movie, where at the very beginning of the movie, he's got some skills because he takes the whole ship out from these guys and drops these dudes like a bad habit.
Yeah.
Then of course, we get into the Necromonger War, and turns out he's actually been foretold that he's got some significant importance, but he gets hauled away before anything could happen. And then of course you got all the interactions with that storyline and the cool visuals of the Necromongers and the elementals and all that stuff. And then, a character who used to be free-floating spirit, I'd answer to nobody, is now in charge of the greatest army in the entire universe. He's reaping the benefits of all that. And then reality puts him right back in his place. He gets betrayed. He gets dumped on the planet, left for dead. And, he's got to relearn, understand who he is now. And I kind of like that part of it.
I like that too. I was going to
he came back, I mean, he was hurt. I mean, he was busted up. He was defenseless for a while. All these things were happening to him, and he had to just basically relearn to be himself. And then now he's got all that figured out, and something's going to happen. Now he's got to come up with a plan. Then you see the cunning, the smart, the intellectual version of him, and he's not really trying to kill anybody. He's just trying to get out of there.
Yeah.
But the first team of mercenaries wants him dead. They want his head, basically. And the other team is there strictly because their boss said, "I'm going there, and this is why." I mean, then you find out why Johns is there. Then, of course, obviously, we find out why nobody is on that planet anymore, which is kind of a recap to Pitch Black, except a little bit more crazier. A lot more crazier, actually.
This is the movie I was talking about. You ever see The Fugitive or U.S. Marshals?
Sounds very familiar.
With Tommy Lee Jones.
Okay.
Like that. They chased this dude. You know what I'm saying? Trying to anticipate wherever he was going. And that's what I would have liked to see. That's what I would have liked to see. Okay, this is how Riddick is actually going to put his skills to the test. He's outmanned. He's outgunned. These dudes actually know what they're doing. They're not, because if you watch the movie, he took out a couple of them. Everybody got scared of him. I want them to be actually hardened. We're going after this guy. He is our bounty. We're going for him. That's what I would have. Well, that's what I wanted to see. And you kind of get it, but and Batista puts up a pretty good fight with him.
Oh yeah, that was pretty wild. That dude's huge.
Yeah. I want to ask you this: what about Riddick makes him such a likable character in your eyes?
I don't know if he was a likable. I mean, I don't say I wasn't gunning for him at first, but he was just such a badass.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. The first movie he was a complete total prick, but then eventually, he was out for himself in the first movie. I'm just trying to get out of here. And you see a little bit of that humanity show up near the very end, and then it just kind of leaves it. And as far as you'll never see another movie again. And then you come into the Chronicles of Riddick, and you have a guy who's been on the run for 5 years, who has just been trying to stay low profile and ends up getting caught. Well, he ends up catching a ride because he needs to go take care of some business. But he becomes that unsung hero now. He didn't want to have anything to do with this. He was just trying to get away, and through circumstances, he ends up being involved in the intergalactic crazy war thing going on.
Yeah.
And he rises to the top. He gets everything. He gets everything that he could want or desire, and he lives that life for. And it doesn't say how long. He was in charge of the necromongers, but we still have that internal strife amongst them with Vaco, who wants to get rid of him, and he wants to run the place. So he sets him up to get rid of him. And now again, we go back to the story we were just talking about. A man who had everything, who went from simplicity to having everything, got his seat kicked out from under him and put back on the bottom floor to relearn who he is. And in time he also grows. He's still got that, that smart ass cunningness. The guy is a skilled fighter, a skilled killer. But what is he doing with his skill in this case? He was trying not to do anything, trying not to kill anybody. He was just trying to get off the planet.
Yep.
And so, you see the character has gone from just a pure prick in the first movie. I'm all for myself. Now I've got everything myself. Now I gotta oh man, he learned some humility, and I just need to get out of here and go away. And that whole story was basically, the whole Riddick movie was him learning about himself, developing the character far more than they started with Pitch Black and the Chronicles.
Yeah.
Putting some humanity to him. He wasn't just a complete fighting, killing machine. He did have some humanity. And I think that's what really, as you said earlier, the action part in the second movie was great. Riddick, overall was a little bit longer movie, not as much, but it was more suspenseful, and it was a good movie. And I would go, 2, 3, and then 1 as in movies in order. Because 1, I don't think they were ever planning on going past the original Pitch Black.
I don't think they were either.
But it was such a cult following that they just went ahead and gave it some more ammo. And Van Diesel was the upcoming star now, and so they slipped it in there, and that's why you also see him in the Fast and Furious, and several other movie styles playing a similar character.
That's why I do like the character of Riddick, because like you said, dude's kick ass. I mean, dude can fight. The dude knows how to survive. Dude's like a good.
And he's not just a stupid monkey. He has some intelligence.
And I love the fact he's a smart ass. Those one-liners, oh my gosh, they be cracking me up.
I like the scene out of the Chronicles where he says, "I'm gonna kick this blade. I'm gonna kill you dead in 7 or 8 seconds," is what it was.
Yeah. I like the one he was like, the dude, he said, in a Pitch Black, he was like, "Oh, what does it look like?" He was like, "It looks clear." So he got up, and then one of those raptor things flew by. He was like, "I thought you said it was clear." He said, "I said it looks clear." He said, "What does it look like now?" Looks clear.
Gone. Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed the character. I mean, again, I wish they would have explained a little bit more in the Chronicles, but I think it cleared up and kept it going. Would I like to see a 4th one?
There's supposed to be 2 more coming out. One is supposed to be Furion, and I forgot what the other one was supposed to be. But they're so busy cranking out so many of these Fast and the Furious movies. Yeah. And I'm like, I like
Fast and Furious.
I understand Fast and Furious is highly successful and profitable franchise. And Riddick, it's a good franchise, but it's not as successful as Fast and Furious. So I can kind of understand them sticking with that. But I want more Riddick back on screen. Did you ever see the Chronicles of Riddick: Dark Fury, that little animated movie they had?
No, I did not.
It takes place between the first and the second movie, whereas Riddick, Jack, and Imam, they get caught by this. I don't want to say it's a pirate ship per se, but this woman the woman that owns the ship, she collects criminals, and she freezes them up, but they're actually still alive. She basically turns them to living statues.
Oh, nice.
It's messed up. It's really messed up. They still be alive. I'm like, so they're still alive. Wow, and you can see it in their eyes. You like, ugh.
They're gonna be pretty nasty.
So they have to escape that, and that's when not John's. What was the Merc from the second movie?
Toombs.
That's how Toombs met Riddick. That's why he went after Riddick. Well, in that animated movie, that's how they first met. It was actually pretty interesting. It was a pretty interesting movie. I kind of would have wished they would actually went live action with it.
See, there's some really cool animated series, like Starship Troopers had an animated series there for a while, which really became more of their expanded universe.
I like that series. It was good.
And I liked it. I think it was called Roughnecks, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was called Roughnecks, but they expanded the story so much because, granted, it's animated, so you don't have to have the limitations of producing a movie and visual effects. You just animate it. It might take you a year or two, but it's faster than trying to assemble millions of dollars.
Yeah.
But and that's the nice thing about animated side series is you get a lot more. You can do a lot more and get into the series more. And I would even mind a full-time. I would actually enjoy a Riddick animated or anime style series
Yeah.
once a week.
I would like that too.
And have Van Diesel voice him and do it. And you could do so many more cool stories and explain a lot. I mean, we could even go into the necromongers, we could go into the elementals, we could go Fury and what happened to it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much you could do with the stories. And I'm sure there's a market. I mean, as successful as all the movies were, there should be no problem.
They have the following. That's basically it. They got the following.
I mean, my other half loves, Riddick. I mean, she'll watch that movie forever. I said it's because of the beginning where you see his butt, but that's just her. I can't get into that.
Have you ever played any of the games?
No, I have not played any of the games.
I think there was just 2 games. It was Escape from Butcher Bay, and I forgot Assault on Athena or something like that. Now I played some of the Butcher Bay one because in the movies they do reference him escaping from Butcher Bay, I think. But the game is basically how he does it, and it starts off with him going there, and you get the shine. That's how he gets the shine on his eyes.
There's an animated series with that in there.
Mm-hmm. So I wish I would have beat the damn game. It was actually a pretty good game.
I was actually reading. There was a graphic novel. I'm pretty sure it's a graphic novel that shows how he gets his eyes done in the prison and all the stuff that happened precursor in the prison, why he got out and how he broke out. Which was pretty cool. Actually, I thought it was pretty clever and interesting little show that they did. And I think they even tried to do a little bit more of an animated series, but it just kind of fell through. I think they just did like 2 of them. I was trying to find the names of them real quick, but I'm not being successful at the moment. I'm stuck in the Riddick universe.
They said that there was supposed to be a TV series called Merc City, and it's supposed to be follow the mercs and bounty hunters of the Riddick universe. I'm looking on Wikipedia, which I think I have heard of that before. That would be a pretty good idea because the universe does sound pretty interesting. It isn't just the character, but the universe does sound pretty interesting. And kind of like Gotham.
I got to get into that series.
I'm
so far behind.
They're talking about a fourth film, but I want to see. Are you guys excited to hear about Furia? Do you want to know where it all began with the dark character Riddick? So yeah, I think they do got to confirm that the Riddick movie will be. Which again, like I said, I like Fast and the Furious, but I won't watch Riddick. Damn it!
Give us some really cool stuff. Screw the cars. We want some freaking necromonger super magical power Furian thing going on.
Yeah, let's get into this character. That was like one of my things about it is I can understand if they did Fast and the Furious Riddick, Fast and the Furious Riddick. It's like Fast and the Furious, Fast and the Furious, Fast and the Furious Riddick, Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, no doubt. They just
but like I said, Riddick is a very interesting character. I would not mind even seeing some of the trials and tribulations that Jack had to endure after her and Riddick split. Like I think that would be a pretty good series or a movie to go by.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty interesting. Like you had said, it'd be good to see what's going on with Delora Marshall. With this Furia movie, not only look at his past, but Riddick's past, but also Delora Marshall's past. How these two are tied together. Because you remember in the second movie, he did ask Riddick, was he familiar to him?
That's true.
But I think that would
the dark universe. Only the Lord Marshals go there, and I think what I was reading earlier, there was only 7 prior to the character we saw. Riddick. Actually, I'm sorry, there were 6. Riddick became the 7th Vaco became the 8th, as the storyline goes. But they're showing on this Riddick wiki, they actually talk about Furia and what happened and some other strange stuff that happened to it. So it's very, they even have some kind of pictures here too. But I think it's all like, concept art and stuff along those lines. It looks pretty cool though. So we'll see if they come up with some future movies. Vandy's going to slow down sometime.
I definitely want to see Riddick versus Vaco, and I want them to explain the Underverse because, like, what is it? Where the hell did it come from? Do any of the other characters know about it outside of this?
Well, according to what I was reading, the Dark Universe is basically their kind of mecca, their central point of worship, and only the Lord Marshal can go there. And they kind of come back partially dead, undead.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of. But only a Lord Marshal can go there. And that's what they were explaining. But they, again, didn't really get into depth about it.
Yeah, I wanted to get into depth. Where the hell is it? Like, it can't be on the edge of the galaxy without the rest of the planets knowing about it. It's got to be somewhere else.
Yeah, or it's a, well, how he had that weird kind of fading ability?
Yeah.
Maybe the Underverse is like a faded, another dimension, another plane of existence, something along those lines. That would be the closest, I guess, it could explain it, because Riddick was able to use it too. But they're talking about Furion being, a harsh world where, they had spiritual warriors that had, crazy abilities. So it's very interesting to see where they're going with it.
All right, let me ask you this. If you can name 5 characters out that series that you like, who would they be? I gotta ask.
Well, I mean, we have all our main characters, but I like Jack coming back as an older version.
Mm-hmm.
Not the kid that we saw in Pitch Black, and it was interesting to see what happened to her. Riddick, of course, is definitely a plus. I like Johns, the dad, in the 3rd movie.
Okay.
Trying to put myself in his shoes, understand the character, why he was doing what he was doing. And then at the end too, John's, changed his tune a lot. He grew up. I don't say he grew up, but he became more accepting and understanding. His son was actually a coward and, was trying to do it. What was the Katie Shakoff's character?
Doll.
Like Doll. I liked her as Starbuck, but Doll was a very different character, and I liked the fact she beat the crap out of the leader of the second team. She just smoked him and ate him alive.
Whatever that.
And
he was a douchebag. And one thing I liked about her character, she actually had chemistry with Riddick. I like that the characters actually had chemistry.
Yeah, they worked well, they acted well, they blended well. And I don't know if I really have I did like he got killed though. No, it was the kid. Did the kid survive or he got killed?
Which kid?
The in the 3rd movie.
There was a kid in the 3rd movie?
Yeah, he was a younger one. He was the younger bounty hunter on the first team. Yeah, he had to die because there was only 2 people that got off that planet, and he wasn't one of them. So yeah, he had to die. He was the one that said, "Let's just pack up and leave. We don't need to be here. Let's just go." And they're like, "Shut up. We're here. We're going to get the bounty." I don't think it's right. He was kind of like the consciousness of the first group.
Okay.
But he was he wasn't a kid, but I mean, he's probably like 18, 19.
I'm trying to figure out. I don't think he survived either.
No, because we only saw 2 people leave the planet. 3 people leave the planet, so. And it wasn't him.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find his name real quick, though.
I'll go ahead and say I can actually make a top 10 list. I don't know if I should. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the top 10 because I did make one a while ago. I did like Riddick, of course. I liked Imam because Imam was kind of like this a spiritual advisor to Riddick. I did like him because of that. Fry, the chick from the first movie that died, I liked her character. Again, she was like Doll. She had that strong female thing going, but it wasn't like she was an asshole about it. She wasn't like overly.
She was just, that was her, and that was how she was packed, and that's what it was.
Again, I like Doll. I like Kira. I did like Vaco. For some reason, that's when I say Vaco, I think I'm cussing. But I like Vaco because he seemed like he was like, he could have been Riddick's like rival.
Yep.
If they'd have went a little bit more into his character, he probably would have been a good rival. I did like the Lord Marshal. I mean, he had presence. Not much more than that, but he had presence. I did like the mayor guy from the second movie, that was in the prison.
Okay.
Yeah, they kept calling him the mayor or something like that. Like, I did like his character. Wow. I did like Dang Vaco.
His wife?
I did like her too because she was sneaky.
Well, she also plays, like, I believe she plays in Westwood or Westworld. She plays a character in there as well, and it's very, I don't say it's a similar character, but a character, well, like I think she plays like a madam or something in there.
Yeah.
But you know how she's slick and sly and always kind of, you know, she's that style of character also in Westworld.
Shoot, I guess my final character would be Batista's character.
Yeah.
Because he was cool, but he was funny too. He was hilarious too.
Did you check for any more traps? Yeah.
Oh man,
I do like his character. You know, there was a lot of them I liked, but I think, you know, some of the more interesting ones I did like. John's, he was one of the characters I could kind of empathize with a little bit. You know, if something happened to my kid, you know, I would travel half across the galaxy to find out what the hell happened.
Yeah,
you know, your one chance to find out what the hell happened to my kid.
That's what I did like about him, though. He wasn't a dick.
No, he was cool. He was calm. He was collective. He did lose it a little bit there in the middle section of the movie, just before everything kind of started going crazy. Mm-hmm. But, you know, overall, you know, I think in that movie, I think really he was kind of the more outstanding character for me, because I can personally relate with him. You know, I've got a kid that's similar age. And so it's like, you know, if something happened to my kid, and, you know, the one person who could give me that answer is this guy, do or die. I don't care what you do. I need to talk to him before you do anything. I want to know what happened to my kid.
We got 3 minutes left. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump on the most memorable moments in the series. One of my favorite moments is the whole fight scene at that ship port before the sun came out on the second movie.
Yep.
It was the mercenary guys, security guys versus the necromongers versus the criminals. That was beast. I like that.
Definitely a crazy scene, that's for sure. It was probably the more interesting of the scenes too, and then also, you know, when the Furion, the what was he called, the Purifier?
Yeah.
When he told him, he goes, you know what? I'm kind of tired of all this. You know, you aren't the last Furion. You will be in a minute. And he just opens the security door, walks out there, and he keeps on walking. He's on fire. I mean, he's melting away, and he stands up and still keeps on walking. You know, it just sticks in your head, like that guy literally was brainwashed to become a necromonger, but in the end, he said, I'm going to give you a chance to, you know, make it right. And he walked away. And I mean, that stuck through the whole movie.
It actually affected Riddick.
Yeah, I think that was one of the turning points of him going back, was that whole scene. And the fact that they took Jack too. So, but I mean, I had to stick with him.
I think another great scene, another good scene is the scene at the end of Pitch Black when Fry sacrifices herself to save Riddick. I don't think she did it on purpose, but it's the fact that she went back to try to save him, and she ended up dying in the process.
Yeah,
like that was another very, like, I was like, wow.
Yeah, I was like, why is she not moving? Zing, gone. Well, that's jacked up. What the hell just happened? Yeah,
That's
the whole movie. You're like, yeah, she's gonna make it. She's gonna make it. And then at the end of the movie, you're like, damn, what did just happened?
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on. I was like, wow, that.
Yeah,
Is,
it really catches you off guard. You're definitely not expecting it, and you're like, whoa, all that stuff, all that fighting, all that everything, and then you just get picked off at the flight deck of the little shuttle.
mm-hmm.
It's crazy, crazy, crazy. I like the fight. When we see the necromongers make their appearance on the planets and get into the fight, the beginning of it and the story.
Yeah, that big battle.
Yeah, that one is pretty cool when you see the big pillars hit and all the ships flying off of it and just a total synchronized war machine just taking out everything.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too. Especially you got the part where Riddick like looks up and you can see like the explosions and ships and stuff reflecting off his goggles.
Yep.
Oh,
not the beeper.
Oh man. So hopefully we can come back to this conversation, especially with Furia coming out supposedly whenever it comes out, or when we get some more news. Definitely want to come back and talk about this because Riddick is one of my favorite characters in movies, and I would love for them to do more with the character. They put some games out there, they put some comics and some books out there.
Give us some more stuff universe.
Yeah. If y'all can have a Jack Sparrow and y'all can have a freaking Indiana Jones, you can go ahead and expand a little bit more on the Riddick too.
Yep.
But having said that, guys, in the comment section below, let us know, what did you think about our conversation about the Chronicles of Riddick? What did you like? What didn't you like? What things we probably should have covered that we didn't cover? Throw them down in the comment section below. Remember to hit that like, share, subscribe, and notification button to get the best of what we have on this channel. And we will definitely catch you guys again next week. And thank you once again for joining us here on Breaking the Base.